Just double check. What's this?
Joy, audio start video.
This one? Ah, great. Okay. I'm gonna make moves here.
Oh, Rabbi Harry, admit.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Check preferences here. External headphones good. You're good there. Okay, 1 second.
R, you know what R stands for?
Rabbi?
Yeah, nice.
Nice. Okay. Sharing timeline is cool?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I want to send the,
You guys hear me?
yeah, but you sound like scary.
I know my earpods are off on the phone all the way.
Dude, you sound like a robot, bro. When you put it up, go live.
Yeah.
Say something, be like, yo, the Makoros.
Nice.
So you say, here are the sources?
You want to?
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Yo, Harry sounds like a robot.
Can he hear you?
The sources, he could hear me, but I think he'd hear me, but I listen to when he talks. He says,
You guys,
Hey, what's up, Harry? Can I hear you
what's
talk?
up? You hear me?
I hear you better now.
"Oh, you do?"
Yeah. Can you talk?
hear?
Say a couple things?
All right, let's test it again. You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
I'm there.
Okay, great.
Here, I'm putting Shmuel back.
Yo, H.
What's up, bro?
What's
up, bro?
crack-a-lackin'?
It's better?
What's up?
Thank you.
Wait, hold on. I want to write thing. I want to write hashtag GatesGate. Yeah.
Yeah, let's try it. Go live at the bottom.
No, I want to wait until
Until they're ready?
until Harry's ready, until people come in. Yeah.
Word, bro. Cool. So then you just push go live and we're starting.
Go live. I just press go live and that's it.
I think so. Pretty straightforward.
Okay.
You're gonna
Cool,
want to
cool.
you after you push go live, just minus the screen and only focus on that one.
On this one.
Yeah, don't focus on Facebook at all. Just focus on the Zoomshteig, and afterwards we'll see what happened with Facebook. Okay.
Yeah. Is it gonna start when I press go live? It's gonna start live.
Yeah, but this is delayed from what's actually happening. So you're just going to want to minus that and not focus on the Facebook at all so that you can focus on the share.
I hear you.
Yeah. Trust me on this.
I will. Yeah. Cool. All right. You go sign in.
Yeah, you staying?
Yeah, I'm staggered.
All right, I'm looking for it. I'll see you soon.
Harry, where's your face?
I got an internet issue, so it's not able to load it. I'm waiting for my router to re-download stuff so I can go probably 15, 20 minutes. I'll be able to face in.
Okay, cool. So, I'm waiting for,
We're just chilling.
oh, here we go. Admit. All right. We're just chilling. Yeah. Yo, Max.
Oh, what's up, buddy? Can you hear me?
Crack-a-lackin', bro. Yeah.
I love your shimshon. It's a good look.
My what? My shimshon?
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to lose it up here.
Yeah, I hear ya. There's, these locks are my power. So we're gonna go live. We're gonna try. Waiting to if more people that said they were gonna come. Are gonna come. I'll tell them we live. You. All right. I told people we're live, and then we're live. We're live, yo. Okay. So today's share, I call it. Did I send the Makoros? I sent you guys
Thanks
all
for
the
sneak
Makoros.
peek, by the way.
What's up?
Thanks for that sneak peek on the Makoros.
Oh yeah. I said I'd send some sneak peeks on the Makoros. Tonight's share, yo, is called #GatesGate. What I'm gonna be doing is share today. You can see the Makoros on the right. You know what we're gonna be doing is share today. I should probably go live now. If I could figure out how to do it. It says connect your live stream to live EPA. It's not. Check your stream is connected. Okay. What do
Should
I do?
tell our technical administrator to check it out?
Yeah, maybe.
Hey, what's up? Can you guys hear me?
Yo, what's up, Schligs?
Hey, what's up?
It's not like working.
Okay, I'm coming. All done.
But hold up. Maybe I could.
Oh, no.
More live on Facebook. Next.
Oh, I'm coming, bro.
All right.
I'll be there in 15 seconds.
Okay, cool. Live's producer, I should say dismiss, and then put this here, and then do go live.
Yeah, exactly.
It says add a title. I just added a title. It says.
Here, I'm here.
All right, yo.
Okay, let's see.
Yo. Thanks for standing by, guys. While we figure this out.
Okay. I see.
Says stop live stream.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
okay.
it's okay.
Okay.
We're just gonna go live.
Paste. Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Let's go.
Oh,
You're good.
good.
I'm gonna minus this.
Wait, but maybe people are like commenting or something. I think we should leave it open.
Okay.
Okay, if you want to for now.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
I don't know. We're just figuring this out, yo. Welcome, Ben Fryer. All right, yo, are we live? Okay, let's do this. So, open up the Makoros to tonight's share, which is called GatesGate. We're going to be going a little bit over what we've done. But also, this is Erev Shavuos. So we're going to be talking about Shavuos as well. The first, let's see, like if it stems, with what we're talking about, what we've been talking about the last few weeks in share. I want to open up with the Gemara in Pesachim Samech Ches Amud Bes, where it says, "The Tanya Rabbi Eliezer Omer Ein lo le'adam b'yom tov ela o ochel v'shoseh o yoshev v'shoneh." A person on Yantiv, he could choose either eat and drink or sit and steig, sit and learn. Yeshua says, no, chelkeu chetzio la'achil v'shtia. Half of it is to eating and drinking. This is on a regular Yantiv. And chetzio lebeis medrash. And half of it's to, right? Chetzi lachem, chetzi lashem. Amar Rabbi Elazar says later, he says, Hakol modim de be'atzeres de be'inon nami lachem. Everyone agrees that on Atzeres, Shavuos, you also need the Indian of lachem. On regular Yantiv, okay, like we don't know, like there's a machlokas. Either it's all to Hashem or all to us, all to God, all spiritual endeavor or all physical, or you split the physical and the spiritual, right? So, but he says on Atzeres, on Shavuos, then over there there's no machlokas. There's a machlokas when you're talking about other yantif, but Shavuos, everyone agrees that you need also the physical aspect. Why? Says the Gemara, my timer, what's the reason? Yom shenitnabo Torah is the day that the Torah was given. And so we have to figure out, wait a second, the day that the Torah is given is for some reason like, oh, you definitely have to have some physical pleasure in there. You definitely have to enjoy yourself and eat and drink, right? Because the day that Torah was given. So that's my my Shavuos question. And hopefully we'll figure that out, what the Zoomshteig is. I wanted to, and if you see on the Makor sheet, I wanted to bring the TED Talk of Bill Gates, where he warns us about how bad a respiratory illness would be and how like contagious it would be and how we're not ready. And he has a picture of flu or corona behind him, right? That's the sugya that we were looking at, and we've been looking at that. It's about Gates, Bill Gates. We started looking into the sugya when we saw the next Gemara I bring. See the Gemara in Sanhedrin, Daf Tzadi Tesam and Aleph. Amar Rabbi Chia bar Abba, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Kol Neviim Kulam Monis Navu Eli Moshe Mashiach. All of the nevuah was only going towards the days of Messiah. Aval Olam Haba, but in the world to come, Ayin Lo Rasa Elohim Zu Aseh Chasela. The eye, even the eye of a prophet, did not see it. Yaseh Elohim Yaseh Mechak. Okay. Upliga de Shmuel. The Amar Shmuel ain't bein ha'olam hazeh was Mashiach el shibud malchus bilvad. Shmuel says that there's no difference between olam hazeh and the world of Mashiach, except for this idea of government oppression of shibud malchus. Welcome, by the way, Joe Finger. We're so happy to have you. I'll tell you just a quick Chazara is that we saw this Gemara that says that on Shavuos, there's like the entire world agrees that you need the physical aspect. On other holidays, it's a machlokas. If you need physical, you could just only be in the base medrash. On Shavuos, Amar Rabbi Elazar, a komodim devad seres being a nami lachem. And we mentioned the Bill Gates thing. We just have that picture up there, the video. And then we read about Shibud Malchios and controlling the world. And that's the difference between Olam Hazeh and Yemos HaMashiach, is this inyan of Shibud Malchios. And that, like, government oppression. And we've been talking about what that was. When we saw the Rambam explain that what that was is that like the non-Jews are not going to be Mishabed the Jews. And now we said that answer was good for a time. But we said nowadays maybe we can get an even deeper answer because we're in Eretz Yisrael, you know? We have Medinas Yisrael. So originally we said that maybe he's referring to like the government not letting us elevate our consciousness and explore with drugs, and maybe that's it. But then we started looking into, okay, well, who is the Shibud Malchios? And we're like, well, who is behind all of these things? And we saw that Bill Gates' organization, who, we didn't see this yet, but I'll bring it now, is this preliminary investigation. This was on, I think, January 17th, conducted by the Chinese authorities that found no clear evidence of human-to-human transmission of the novel coronavirus identified in Wuhan, China. And so I wrote here, because I didn't think I was going to be able to bring the thing. So I wrote here, I said, is it Bill Gates, the #1 funder of WHO? didn't he just tell us 5 years ago how contagious the respiratory virus would be? I said, And I said, and it's really interesting that any information contradicting WHO is censored on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Google. And we see this idea. We see this idea of like the government or a group, an organization, trying to control our narrative. The first example that I brought, I think the best example, was this false testimony that George H.W. Bush had in order to galvanize the people to hate Iraq. He had this girl pretend that she saw the Iraqis saw the Iraqis killing children and cutting them out of the incubators. And then it was found out that she was the daughter of some famous Iraqi, and the whole thing was false. And that was a turning point in the Gulf War. We see this Indian of them trying to control us, of trying to be our masters. We saw that the Indian of Gog and Magog in the Gemara and Brachos over there. We saw that the Indian of Gog and Magog is the Indian of Gog and Magog is the Indian of a slave that is that rebels against his master. And we were like, wow, that's like Taka, what's going on right now with this shadow government. They were figuring it out. There's this movie of the insurrection, which I definitely suggest seeing. It's unbelievable. It's about a former Illuminati who, for whatever reason, she decides to come completely clean and talk about how they're controlling the minds through the media and through Hollywood. And we had spoken about that, the media and Hollywood and the government all being in it together, when all of a sudden Fauci says that he wants Brad Pitt to play him, and then it happens. Okay. What does this remind us of, though? We said, right, that this whole controlling of our thoughts and our mind, this whole idea, it says, we say by the Egel Azav, they say Eila Elohecha Yisrael after they built the golden calf. These are your gods, Israel. Lo Ne'amar Eila Eloheinu. It doesn't say that these are our gods, which is what would have said if Aaron would have built it. Mikan Sha'alu Erev Rav. Sha'alu Mimitzrayim, She'erev Rav, Sha'alu Mimitzrayim, Heim She'nikalu Al Aaron, Ve'hem Sha'asa'u. They were the ones that did it. Ve'achar Gachidu Es Yisrael Achar. They controlled the thoughts of Israel. Their Indian of the Erev Rav was to control the thoughts. But we remember in class, in Shir, people were like, yo, talk about the Erev Rav and the secret societies. Talk about the Illuminati and the Erev Rav. And I'm like, only if we get a raya. So here we have a raya of the Erev Rav, which their Indian is what the Illuminati and what these secret societies are doing, controlling our mind, our psyche, bringing us down for financial reasons, and also more sinister, just controlling reasons. We saw that JFK spoke about these secret societies, like in 61, he was killed a year later in 63, right? And he spoke about them. He spoke about these societies and how they're controlling the press. And then we see Alex Jones, who has this video. You can watch all of these videos. I can't bring them now. It's on the source sheet. We see Alex Jones. By the way, I don't think we're on Facebook anymore. Okay, no problem. We see Alex Jones. We see. All right, forget it. I'm not putting this back on Facebook. It's enough. All right, we did enough Facebook, and now we did our Shtadlus. Okay.
We'll re-release it on Facebook.
Yeah, for sure. So we see this video of Alex Jones exposing the Bohemian Grove, which is another one of these things that they do, these weird videos. I would play it if I could, but I don't want to get in trouble, like with copyrights and stuff. Any excuse they could use to not let this on. So check it out. They're weird, magical stuff. And so I brought another Rashi. It says Ego Masecha when it's talking about the golden calf. It says since it took to the Or B'chor, we said like the fire furnace. The magicians of the Erev Rav came, and they made it, right? And they say that Mika was there, okay, and he was Yotzei Mitoch the Moshe Binyach and Ismaich Bo Mitzrayim, okay. He had in his hand this parchment or whatever. Because of Bo Moshe Alei Shor Lalos Arono Shel Yosef Mitoch Nivus Ishlechiu Toch HaKor. They threw it into the fire and the egel came out. And we know, and we see in this Alex Jones like exposure of the Bohemian Grove, they were doing some weird things and saying some weird other things, you know. The next picture I have is a picture of Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein, because we can't forget when we're analyzing like this Bill Gates character, not only did he chill with Jeffrey Epstein, who we know is like seriously crumb, but he lied about it, and then he was discovered. Like he was like, oh, it was discovered they took like $2 million from him, gave $2 million. Very friendly with Epstein. This is him at Epstein's house, you know. And we see another Rashi that could bring another raya. We see this Rashi that says, Yesh b'mashma hazeh gilui arayos. There's the implication here of gilui arayos when it says v'kamu l'tzachek achlu v'shazu. After the egel, they got up and they ate and drank. V'kamu, and they got up l'tzachek. Rashi says l'tzachek yesh b'mashma hazeh gilui arayos. He says l'tzachek. The implication of litzachek is gilui arayos, because it says the word litzachek by gilui arayos, and also by shvichas damim it uses that lashon. So what we see here is exactly what we heard people saying that we wouldn't accept without a raya. That in these weird like societies that influence our mind, they also have these blood orgies, and they scare kids with their masks, and then they rape them, and they finish and they slit their necks and they drink their blood, and that blood has an insane amount of adrenaline in it, and it's adrenochrome, and this is the best drug ever. And that's what we were saying these secret societies were doing, and it was going on in Jeffrey Epstein's island, perhaps these weird things. And now we see a Rashi that says that. So I think that's pretty fascinating. We spoke about the WHO, that after Bill Gates tells us no, the WHO came and said, oh yeah, it's not, right? And that we're really suspicious. And Baruch Hashem, we see that the world is like catching on, and like people are like not so willing to like take his vaccination, and they're like thinking twice about what's going on, and the whole censorship, and only things that the WHO says, only their narrative, and so they're obviously controlled by the WHO, and it's the media, and it's Hollywood, and it goes deep, and so Baruch Hashem, people are waking up to what's going on. That was okay. So Baruch Hashem, people are waking up to what's going on, and we hope to talk more about continuing on this sugya of the Erev Rav and the secret societies, and the end of the days, and Shibud Malchus. And we also got to figure out what was going on by Matan Torah. The Matan Torah should imply that we need the physical aspect as well, right? We're going to go on this next thing to see another Rashi about the Erev Rav. Hashem says to Moshe, Raid kishiches amecha. Go down because your nation has become desolate, destroyed, bad. Shiches ha'am lo nem. It doesn't say the nation, it says amecha, your nation, Hashem said to Moshe. Why? Erev Rav shekibalta me'atmecha. The Erev Rav which you took for yourself, the gi'artam, and you were megayir them, velonim lachtabi, and you did not ask me, the amarta, and you said, Tov sheyadavku gerim b'shchina, it's good that these gerim should come. Heim shichasu v'hishchitu. They got crumb and they crumified. They wrecked the mind. They wrecked the mind of the Israelites. They were like bad influences. But what we see here, which is so fascinating, is that Shiches Amecha, that Moshe did this without HaKadosh Baruch Hu saying to do so. He's just like, yo, we gotta have the Erev Rav. Which is very strange because we were just saying, and like this is what we want. We were saying, like, yo, look what these people do, these secret societies, they're controlling our things. Maybe they release Corona on purpose to keep us inside, to give us vaccinations, or to mess with us psychologically, PSYOP, psychological operation. What's going on? Moshe brings these people on. And not only that, but I brought here that like Shlomo Melech was so smart, but he brings, right? He makes a relationship with this guy Hiram Melech Tzor Hiram from Tzor, and he really loved David, and he's like, dude, David couldn't do it, and he's like, bro, I can't do it because ki ein ish banu. We don't have anyone. That's in verse 20. We're in, by the way, Malachim Aleph, Perek Hey, verse 20. Malachim 1, or Kings 1, for chapter 5, verse 20. We couldn't do it, so they had to have help. It's like, yo, come help it. There's like a great relationship between Shlomo and this Melech of Hiram. And it says that like he was so good with trees, blah, 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 and that Shlomo spoke to the trees. We see in Divrei Yamim, they call him Churam, Perek, Divrei Yamim Bet, Perek Bet, Pasuk Bet, Ve'yishlach Shlomo, Churam Melech Tzor. He tells him to Churam, and he's like, yo, dude, you could do it. Perek 10, verse 10, Churam, Melech Tzor, Bichtav, he said to Shlomo, he's like, yo, Hashem loves your nation, and he put you as the kings. And he says, and Churam says, Baruch Adonai Elohei Yisrael Asher Asa Es Hashemayim V'Es Haaretz Asher Nasam LeDavid Melech HaMelech Bein Chacham Yodeh Seichel Uvina Asher Yivneh Bayis LaDonai Ubayis LeMalchuso. So he was saying, like, yo, blessed is God. Seems like a pretty dope guy over here, you know. Seems like he is like pretty righteous, you know. And we see this next piece of archaeological thing, which is from the first temple, which is known as these two things, those two things on the side. They're called Yachin Uboaz. Did we see those? Did we talk about those? Have you heard about these Yachin Uboaz? If you skip a little bit onto in Malachim 1, verse chapter 7, verse 21, it says Amudim Ha'echal V'yagim Amud HaYemini V'yikra Shmo Yachin V'yakam Es Amud HaSmali V'yikra Shmo Boaz. Yachin Uboaz, right here, Yachin Uboaz happens to be, according to, in Freemasonry, the Masonic usage of the terms Boaz and Yachin originates from the biblical account of King Solomon's temple. The master builder of the temple was Hiram Abif, I don't know where they get that last name from, a prominent figure in all of our teachings. It's of great importance to Freemasonry. I got this from the Rhode Island Masons website, that they're talking about how important the Beis HaMikdash was to the Freemasons and how they view themselves, right, as the usage of the, right, each detail holds esoteric meaning. The pillars are a portal to the mysterious. According to ancient writings, Solomon was the initiate of the mystery school and the temple which he built. This is our Torah, this is our Kabbalah. In which he built was actually a house of initiation containing a mass of pagan, philosophic, and phallic emblems. The pomegranates, the palm-headed columns, the pillar before the doors, coupled with the arrangements and the chambers, draperies, all indicate the temple to have been patterned after sanctuaries of Egypt and Atlantis. These Freemason ideas, these secret society ideas, which which were adopted by the Freemasons. They're viewed very important as the Freemasons, and not only that, but some of their imagery made it into our imagery, and we have our own shot on it. Just like some of the Akkadian stories, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, made it into it made it into the Torah by Noach, but we have our own twist. We have our own way of, right? But here also, you see how close the Temple of Solomon, the first base of Mikdash, is to these Freemasons. But wait a second. Why is Moshe bringing in the Freemasons? Why is Moshe bringing in the Erev Rav, which he said is like Bohemian Grove, the Illuminati? We've seen the Freemasons now. Why are they? We saw by the way, by George Bush Jr. and George Bush Sr., by the way, which might be a shot in Gog and Magog. We said in a different book, Gog and Magog, George. They were from the Skull and Bones. So now we have four different one of these groups, and they all have a lot of Egyptian imagery. And we see that was also in the base of Mikdash, and there seemed to have been a coming together. In Malachim, we see another very interesting thing. In Malachim Aleph Zayin, in 1 Kings 7, verse 8, it says that Shlomo was making this house, and he made a special house for Bas Paro. And because we know that Shlomo loved Bas Paro the most. And it's very interesting. Very interesting. We know that Shlomo, like he says, like Shlomo took all the girls that God said don't take. Shlomo was like, those are the girls I like. But especially Bas Paro, the Egyptian, right, the daughter of Pharaoh in Egypt. And he made her a house. That was interesting. And it says, Shlomo v'yigach es Chiram mitzor. And he got Chiram from Tzor. Ben Isha Almanahu. He was the son of a orphan mom. Mimata Naphtali. Wait. From the 10 tribes? From the 10 tribes over here? You're also going to bring in the 10 tribes over here? Was this guy the king of Tzor? Was he also over the 10 tribes? Is this another guy? I don't know. It seems like a little strange. Same guy, same place that he lives. But now he's being identified as being actually an Israelite. But he's not. But he's like in charge of the Tzor of I forgot. It's present day Libya, present day Lebanon. I forget the name in English.
What year was this in the temple?
This was in the temple of the first temple of Solomon, way before the Gemara. Yeah, before the 10 tribes went into exile.
No, because the 10 tribes went into exile during Bayit Rishon.
Right, but this was before. You're right.
Okay. It is. I was thinking maybe it was someone from the 10 tribes who became like affiliated with the non-Jewish nation. So like, oh, he's really Shevet Naphtali, but he's now like mixed in. So I was speculating. I don't know. But
it was after. But the 10 tribes was afterwards. But I hear that. I don't know.
Okay.
I hear that. I don't know. But I hear the Nikuda.
Keep steiging.
And so they call it Yachim or Boaz, and that has a lot of Freemasonry stuff to it. All right. So look at the Otzer Midrashim. They're talking about Yachin and Boaz. It says, Yachin is Keneged HaYareach. Yachin is Keneged the moon. It says, Yareach Yachon Olam. Yareach Mechin Yisrael Moadim V'Shanim. The moon represents like his chadshos and getting new and like ups and downs and back and forth, right? It represents like the vicissitudes. And that's the Yareach. It goes up and down. And it's like Achodesh Ezelachem is talking about that, like this is like the element of the Jews, right? That, like there's like his chadshus of the Israelites, right? Where the Christians also come from, and the Muslims are brothers and cousins and loved ones, right? And the entire world, right? So that's the Arach, and the sun is compared. The sun is almost all that stationary. The sun is the physical world. I don't like the Jewish non-Jewish dichotomy that I heard it when I was in yeshiva, but that I read but I like the dichotomy of the sun. The moon represents spirituality, and it's always changing. The sun is the physical world. There's nothing new under the sun. Boaz Keneged Hashemesh. Boaz from the sun. Who Yotze B'Gevura of the Oz, because he went out in strength and grandeur. Shenemar Yasis Gibor LaRutz Orach. the strong one should go run a thing. The kinegdam beguf shtei einayim, and so those are the two eyes. So those are the two elements. It's the physical and the spiritual coming together at the Yachin Uboaz. And so that's actually fascinating. You have the physical, you have the sun, which is nothing new. It's the laws of nature. And then you have this spirit, the psyche, which goes up and down. That's the moon. And in the Beis Hamikdash, and in Freemasonry, they also like, I don't know if they know this vort, and that's what they're doing, but they hold that this is an important thing. Maybe they have their vort. I'm sure it's not as right. It's a schmuck, but you know what I'm going to learn. Whatever. All right. So, we have the sun and the moon. We have the physical and the spiritual coming together, and we also have, by the way, the Freemasons came out awesome. They helped us with the Beis Hamikdash. They share these mythical ideas with us. Let's figure this out, right? That they're inviting them with them. So I wanted to take a look at Boaz, at the idea of Boaz. You know, it's so apropos. We have Shavuos coming up. Rus 2:4 says, Boaz This is the Gemara says from here we learn you're supposed to greet someone with the name of God. Boaz. He's like saying to all these like poor workers, he's like, yo, God with you. And they're like, yo, God bless you. And then they got up. If you're familiar with the story of Shavuos and Matan Torah and Rus, the book of Ruth, he saw Naomi from Moab. Naomi was from Moab. Moab means Me'av, from her dad. Moab came because this girl slept with her father because she thought the world was destroyed. Her father was Lot's daughter. Slept with him, had a kid, named him Moab. It's like, I had it from my dad, like from the darkest of things. We're coming into this. Like, this girl is from Moab. And she falls on her face in 2:10, Ruth. Why do you like me so much? Do you want to know me? I'm a non-Jew. And he's like, yo, I don't care. Look at the next pasuk. He's like, Vayan Boaz. Boaz answered. Vayomer lo, and he said to her, Who got li? It was told to me. Kol asher asis. As chamoseich, everything you did for your mother-in-law. Acharei mozi sheikh, after the death of your husband. But ta'azvi avich v'imech, you left your parents, the eretz moladich, and your homeland. But v'telchi el am asher lo yadat mitmol shel shom, and you went after the truth. You went to a new nation that you didn't know. For 2 days, you just went after the truth. He's like, yo, I don't care that you're not Jewish. I don't care that you're not Jewish. You know, you are a righteous person. We love you. Look how giving you are. Look how much love you are. He's like, no, dude. It's not about Jewish, not Jewish. It's about unity. It's about chesed. It's about helping. And this was Boaz. And they call him the Goel. Boaz became the Goel. Right? He was like the Goel, and he comes in, right? Okay. He says, we can be Goel, he can do chalitza to you and get you in. It's like, okay. Boaz vayesh, he ate and drank, vayitav libo, and he was chilling. He went to go lie down. He went to go lie down on the edge of the produce. But he put up his legs, and he did, and he slept. There's a girl sleeping by his feet. He's like, yo, this is like a dream come true. He's like, yeah, pet. All right, right? He's like, Vayomer miyad. He's like, who are you? Vayomer anochi Ruth amasecha. I am your slave maidservant Ruth. He's like, yo, spread your wings on your maidservant because you are the Goel. And then he says, I didn't bring the entire thing because like Safaria. Right? He's like, yo, this girl's awesome. And he's like, yo, like he slept with her like through the night, like, and he's like, yo, I'm gonna be Goel you. Sleep alayla in the boker in the morning, right? In 3:13. In the morning, we'll find the Goel, and he ends up that he was being able to Goel. She sleeps on his feet until the morning, and then they got up because they were embarrassed, right? It says they ad boker vatakam terem yakir ishes re'eu. They got up too early, so that no one will see him because like he was like they were like embarrassed because like you know it's a scandal. Vayomer havi hamat pachas. Like yo, wear this head covering, whatever. And they do the thing, and then Boaz comes to the shar, to the gate, you know, because shir is gate. Comes to the shar, comes to the gate. Go over, and he's like, no, I'm not doing it. He's like, im gal, im tigal gal, im lo egal. If you don't redeem, then I'll do it. And the guy's like, yo, I'm not doing it. He's like, all right, I'm doing it. And he's like, all right, I'm in. This should be a message to all of Israel. Allah Geulah. How the Geulah should work. Allah Tamura Lekayem Kol Davar Shalaf Ish Nalo. Talking about chalitza. But this should be the way that like this is how it's done. Right? And he did it. He did the chalitza. He's like, yo, this is how it should be done. This is the lesson that we read. This is what we read on Shavuos, on the day that Torah was given. We read about how one of like the Jewish elite like hooked up with like a Moabite, which like a Moabite, you're not even allowed to marry someone from Moab. Oh, so right, when David was the whole thing, right? If you see on the bottom of the sheets, right? I bring the Gemara in Yevamos. on Dav Ayin Vav, right? It says that like David, right? My time Amar Le Shaul Aleh, like ask about this guy. Shaul, as David Madik, Shaul gave David the thing, and the Doag said to Shaul, if you see at the bottom of the sheet, until you're asking if Shaul could be king, why don't you ask about if he can even be in Am Yisrael? Because he comes out of Ruth that we saw at the end of this thing. He comes out of Ruth, and they say no because it's Moab. Ammoni you can't marry, but not Ammonis, Moavi and not Moavis. Very schwer. They say no. We have a Mesorah from Shmuel, right? The base measures from Shmuel, Haramasi. We're like okay, so this whole thing happens. This whole thing happens from Boaz. That's what we're reading about. We're reading about Boaz. And he goes and he sleeps with this non-Jewish girl, and that leads to David, and that leads to all this stuff. And like it's very like halachically iffy, I would say. Like they're like, oh yeah, Moab, not Moabite. Okay, right? What we see from here, what I want to see, that we're bringing in the idea of Shavuos, that you're talking about bringing in the non-Jew. And in the Beis HaMikdash, we brought in the king of Tyre. That's it, Tyre. The king of Tyre, that's Tur. And Moshe was like, no, we got to bring the Erev Rav. God was like, yo, Rav Lecha. You shouldn't have brought them in, but he's like, I gotta. And they ended up like, you gotta bring him. And so we're bringing this in. This is the idea of Matan Torah, is that we got to come together. Is that it's all religions, all New Age spiritual, paths. The wicked mother goddess, atheists, whatever beautiful path to spirituality or the infinite or this, you call it this, the infinite, you call it the psyche, you can call it God. The Torah is our path for this elevation of consciousness. And so we're talking about on Shavuos, we're saying two things. Like, first of all, eating and drinking, zikr, there's gotta be. Right? And what do we read? We read a story about some not super tznius yichud sleeping on his legs in the thing, coming from sex with his daughter, right? Coming from Yehuda and the hooker, coming from Rabosai. This is what's going on when we get the Torah. It's got to be a party. It's got to be a party. It's all one path, whether or not this person is this religion or that religion or this spiritual path. It's got to be good. It's got to be good. No, the idea of the Torah is that for all nations, the idea of the Beis Hamikdash is ki beisi beis tefillah yikarei lekol ha'amim. So why has history been so much bloodshed with religion, and there's been so much separation between the humanity? What happened with race and with religion? And then when religion stopped being a viable catalyst for serious ideological separation, they came up with the right and left politics. Time of the revolution, where I heard that some Hasidic Rebbe said that when Napoleon did this thing, that Napoleon's French Revolution was connected to the Arab. I couldn't find a good raya. I found some book. The book, by the way, is called The Torah, the Gospel, and the Quran. 3 books, 2 cities, 1 tale. And it says Gog and Magog are 2 figures in the description of the last days in the Bible and the Quran. We see that this spreads across religion. So then why is there so much fighting? That's the shadow government. That's the Shibud Malchias. That's the divide and conquer Shibud Malchias. That's what right? That's what they're saying. But right? We all got to come together, right? And that's right. Whether it's Mechemes Gog uMagog or Al Harab Jauj wa Majauj, or the war of Gog uMagog, we're all fighting against the same censoring of the shadowy organizations that are pushing this very suspicious narrative about Corona and about how things are in general through Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Google, right? And whether you're from China or Italy or Israel or America, you're still subject to that same influence, that same pernicious shadow government trying to maybe keep us depressed so that they can sell a lot of pills, instead of just allow, what we said at the beginning, allow us to explore our own consciousness. Sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it'll be bad. You got to do it. Everyone's got to know, and you got to do it responsibly, and you got to do it as part of the avoda. But listen, drugs and psychedelics and psychotropics and marijuana, all of this stuff that they're saying that the same shadow government that's trying to control us through are also telling us, and take these pills. That's the way that you can do it. You can spend a lot of money on these pills, but you can't search on your own. They don't trust us to search on our own. They are Google. They are Gog. And we are Magog. We are created by them. We are from them. From Gog. Magog is from Gog. Now, we're in a war. This is Mechemes Gog uMagog. We, us, Jews, Christians, Muslims, atheists, Buddhists, Hinduists, any religion, right? Omni-theists, everyone who is tired of having the government play with us and lie to us so that they can do what they want to do and they can continue their control and not be focusing on the elevation of consciousness and on the super chill. The government's got to keep us down so they can better control us, divide and conquer. Instead of bringing us together like Yachin and Boaz, like the sun and the moon, like the physicality and spirituality, and bringing us together. And that's the Indian of Matan Torah. Kol Modin. And you also have to have the physical, you have to have the sun and the moon. You have to have the Yachin and the Boaz. You have to have the spiritual and the physical. You have to have the Jews and the nations coming together. We're all coming together on this to fight against this Shibud Malchus through, and super chill is the resistance. Now, I would say like, okay, we're gonna do what we're gonna do, like go over and like attack Zuckerberg or Bill Gates, maybe Bill Gates, but I have a better idea. Why don't we say, because Moshe was not like, even God himself was like, yo, don't take these people. And Moshe was like, I'm bringing them in. And Shlomo was like, I'm bringing them in. And Boaz was like, I'm bringing them in. You know? So what I would say is, okay, this is what I would say to Zuckerberg on Facebook. I would say, okay, so you're selling our information to the shadow governments, to these people, so they can analyze it and sell it, and like they can better control us. Pretty bad. But how about you make that information, how about Google makes the person search information, all the history, make it available for him to study and to grow and to study the data and learn himself, you know, and grow from it. They know so much about us, and they're selling it to these shadowy organizations in order to control us and to keep us down. Let us learn from it, you know? Let us grow from it. You know, I would call on, you know, on these organizations also to allow for a free exchange of knowledge, not be afraid, you know, not be secretive. Everyone we should be talking about this, you know. Kabbalah, we're talking about Kabbalah, you know, like now these ideas, all these things which were hidden are ready for the masses. We're ready for it. I would call, you know, that they should join us. Let us know what's going on. Tell us what your path is to happiness. We'll tell you what ours is, and we'll grow together to make such an amazing world. And finally, I'm calling on Israel, the Israeli government, to help us together with the Palestinians build the Beis HaMikdash, the third Beis HaMikdash, because the first Beis HaMikdash was built by Tyre, was built by Hiram. The second Beis HaMikdash was built by Titus. The third Beis HaMikdash, we're gonna have the Palestinians help us build with it, and we're gonna show them that this is the future of the world, and the Jews and the Palestinians are gonna come together, and we're gonna build the Beis HaMikdash. Ki Beisi Beis Tefillah Yikarei Lechol Ha'amim She'abana Beis HaMikdash Meher B'Yameinu. Amen.
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 Dude,
Amen.
that was woven together wildly.
Oh yeah, it was crazy, right? It was very beautiful. It was beautiful, you know, to steig with you guys. We got people. There's a Hisorus in the world. There's a Hisorus. There's a giant Hisorus in the world. People are finally talking about this, and there are different groups, and people are talking about, and there's talking about lots of different people, lots of different groups.
You're very ahead of the curve, though.
Oh yeah. This year is ahead of the curve. I wanted to say a shout out, I guess, to another group. I don't know if I'm not doing this because of the shout out, but there's a group that's trying to figure this stuff out. But as far as I know, their theory just is like what's going on in America, and like what's going on Republican versus Democrat. I'm not sure. I mean, I know that like they do talk about shadow government also. Eric Trump had a tweet. But there is a group there is a group called that. I'll say this theory, this Havami, this is tangential to hair. I'll say this theory, which is that maybe Trump knew, he understood this method of like controlling and influencing the masses, and he knew it really well, and that's why I always talking about ratings in the TV, right? And he knew before he was running that he was not going to lose. He was like, yo, I know how to work that. And listen, he was big in that world. He was friends with Epstein and he was friends with the Clintons. The Clintons, very, very like schwer. Maybe he was like, yo, like I'm done with this. And he's used that method in order, getting his information from Cambridge Analytica, in order to take down the Democrats with the Clintons and Epstein and Fauci and Bill Gates and all these shady people. And we know that Bill Gates hates Trump. It's another clip that I didn't have a chance to bring, but Bill Gates hates Trump. And I just thought that maybe like, a lot of people are talking really badly about Trump, but this theory would work with Q-anon, which is like this group. And they say that I don't totally understand it, but they say that Trump is working, is secretly working against like the shadow government, and like, that's like what's going on, and that's like how you understand like his hints in his texts. And so I just thought that that vort would go with QAnon. We haven't spoken about Donald Trump yet, really. We shied away. So I thought that maybe I would just say that it could be that that it could be that that's what's going on with this whole Shibud Malchias thing. I don't know if I needed to add that last part, but I was thinking about it, so I thought that I would mention it. What do you guys think about all this?
Definitely, I see the connection with QAnon for sure.
Yeah, who said that? Some you could put your faces up now if you want.
That was me.
Oh yeah. So you see the connection with QAnon, they're saying that Trump is this hero fighting this battle, and I'm like, yo, it would make sense, but everything with this year, we're gonna bleib schwer. We're gonna say these are just ideas that we're talking about, but I believe that these ideas of unity and connection and really the whole world coming together, and this being a psychological battle. Super chill is the resistance against this shadowy organization which wants to keep us down. I think that that is the lesson of Shavuos.
Yep.
That but in a nami lachem, you gotta party, you gotta have fun, you gotta enjoy yourself, and that's what Shlomo Melech was doing in Geulas. That's what we've been talking about. It's eudaimonia, and it's really beautiful that everything came together. And I'm so happy to have all of you guys with us in the Zoomshteig tonight. And let's get these ideas out there, yo. Let's at least let people hear these ideas and decide for themselves, instead of what the shadow government is trying to do by pushing only their narrative and taking everything else off of all social media platforms, except for the WHO, which we saw is very suspicious because they definitely knew how bad it was, and yet they told us not. Is this a plot against Trump? Did they want to bring Trump down? I don't know. What about you, Harry and Yoel? You guys got figurative thoughts on the sug?
Well, I definitely saw that that Trump on Easter tweeted something with a Q hidden inside of his tweet. So it seems very possible that he's very in the know about this whole thing.
Yeah, and I saw that his son Eric Trump was like, oh, you have all these shadow government people suggested to me, and one of them was Ellen, and she made fun of him. But Yeah. Joel, enlighten us with your Torah if you're still there, because we know that like I heard some things like you're holding in the sugya.
Yoel.
Yo, I might have to hear from Yoel next time. It's been real, guys. I hope you spread the hashtag GatesGate. And this is part of the resistance. This is part of the resistance is just to bring consciousness of what's going on and give people an opportunity to free themselves from this shibud malchus if they want. And the way to do that, the number one step is the super chill. They're trying to bring us down. They're trying to control us by like dividing us and conquering us and keeping us needing that we need to buy stuff with their ads, ad commercials, and trying to keep us shallow and low. And super chill is the resistance. By being happy with things that are internal, being happy with your internal mind, your internal chill, doesn't matter what's going on outside of you. And this is the Yemos HaMashiach, the Geula, according to the Rambam. This is the end of Shibud Malchus, and this is Milchemes Gog uMagog. And listen, we're fighting a beautiful battle here because, like, we're just trying to chill. By chilling and by being happy and by partying, that's our resistance. And so I wish that everyone will be Zocha this shavuos to really mikabel the Torah me'ahava and understand the sun and the moon aspects of it. Understand the all-encompassing aspects of the Torah and how it's for everybody and how there are the physical and the spiritual, and it's ochel v'shoza and yoshev v'shona. It's eat and drink, but it's also sit and steig. And this shleimus, this working on ourselves physically and spiritually is going to Hashem lead to the Olam Haba according to the Rambam and the Ramban that will have or the Ramban that will have bodies, but they're not going to be physical bodies. They're bodies of Allah. We're going to hopefully move towards with this elevation of consciousness. Who knows? But Sheibana Beis HaMikdash, we'll have the Beis HaMikdash. We'll be built in with singing and dancing with the Jews and the Arabs, with the Israelites and the Muslims and the Christians and the atheists and all of Magog. Everyone who is fed up by the government censoring us and not thinking that we can have our own consciousness and have a responsibility and do drugs responsibly and do drugs. They think we're children and they don't trust us and they think they have to control us. Just like, by the way, back in the day, the rabbinate was always a lot of avoda miyira and fear and fear and fear. And we've transcended that fear. That's my sefer, Judamonia. It's all about the transcending of that inyan of fear, right? It's about that this guy is depressed, anxious, suicidal, and alcoholic because of his fear of I might have said a blessing wrong, and that's what was going on. But we've transcended that, and we've over the years we've continued the path of of Chassidus and Rabbi Nachman and Simcha. And we showed the importance of Simcha, but we brought mad rayas and proofs and psukim. And recently, with the whole Corona thing, Rav Shechter and other rabbis are listen, if it's not docha, pikuach nefesh is docha Shabbos. And it's important that he mentions that because you had people that were on the brink of suicide but afraid to touch their phone to ask out for help. Use your phone in that situation. He goes to salvation as if he's losing it. If he's losing it, or if he's a chashash that he's going to lose it, Docha Shabbos. Because nefesh is Docha Shabbos. And so that was we've been working on that. I spoke about that 2 years ago in my book. We were working on that and it happened. And now we're going weiter and we're saying, that exact mentality that's being foisted upon us by the shadow government, trying to push down fear down our throats, make us afraid to even talk about these things because somehow they leaked into the zeitgeist that to talk about any conspiracy theories are like crazy, even though we don't even have it. Even though we don't even have an explanation for how Jeffrey Epstein really died or how Corona really got started. But anyone who talks conspiracy theory is taken down, and they're trying to make us and to control us through fear. And so again, our crew is going to step up for the MS and step up for what's right. Yeshiva Geulas Shaul on the forefront of Milchemes Gog Umagog, on this elevation of consciousness. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. I can't wait to see you guys again after Chag. We'll go weiter. Maybe we'll figure out a little bit more about some of the topics that we're talking about today.
You gonna go to Tribal Summer?
Yeah, probably. We'll see. It's a while away, but
Yeah, it's like a month and a half.
A month and a half. Before that, we got some things.
I'm coming back to Israel next week.
You come back to Israel next week?
Yeah.
Moradik. All right, yeah, we'll talk about that in private. Hit me up, DM me. Everyone else, much love. Hold up. Yeah, like gallery view. I don't know what's going on. Piggity peace. I love you guys and have a great Chag. Remember, Ocha v'shozeh, Yoshe v'shoneh. There's a mitzvah deoraisa of Simchas Yantif, L'chol HaDeis on Yantif. So understand that Simcha all year long is a mitzvah, but there's a special Inyan on Yantif. And we should be zocher to Mekayim it, mitzvah, a hidden mitzvah. Much love, piggity peace, viva la resistance, viva la super chill. Bye.
Thanks, Sally.
Good night.
Resistance.
Resistance. Yeah.